Fortune and Strife features subjects which can be uncomfortable for a general audience, such as the use of drugs and alcohol, poor treatment of people of different classes or cultures, adult situations, psychological trauma, deprivation, survival, natural disasters, and violence. Listener discretion advised. In addition, these next few episodes of the show contain cultural and historical content based upon the peoples of Asia and the Far East. We are coming at this from a place of respect and genuine interest and a love of these cultures, places, and history. We may not get it 100% right all the time, and we ask you to bear with us and give us the benefit of the doubt, and we would let us know when we get it wrong. We want to be an ally in dispelling Orientalism that has affected the Asian and Middle Eastern communities around the world. Welcome to Fortune and Strife. I am Robert, or Bayoshi Shinichi, and I'll be your host and narrator.
I am Chini, and I am playing Doji Gen.
I am Tyler, and I am playing Akoto Ricci.
Hi, I'm Eric Chalk, and I will be guesting in as Ide Minato.
Let's play some L5R in the Burning Sands.
Our samurai, Akoto Ricci and Doji Gen, Gen's assistant Sueno, and Kitsune Hayate have been cast adrift in the Burning Sands, and ended up finding themselves the erstwhile guests of the Emir, serving the Sultan of the city of Al-Zawira, Caliph of the Kamarist Empire. During their stay, however, they learned of a deadly secret, but their benefactor was using them as a first step to engineer an invasion of Rokugan. The Caliph's lover and personal assassin, the Bronze Viper, found fit to hate them, perhaps for the threat to the Caliph that the Emir presented. After attempting to kill Gen with poison, which required Ricci to study the ways of the Kamarist alchemists in order to cure her, the Bronze Viper tried again, and was killed in a duel in the streets of the city, while the pair were trying to reach the unicorn to escape. Now hunted by the Caliph and the Emir for what they have done, the pair escaped into the Undercity and made their way to the Unicorn compound with evidence of the imminent invasion. Now under the custody of one Ide Minato and others among the Unicorn, the pair are preparing to flee the city with the Unicorn Caravan, hoping to escape before the Caliph's men give chase. As the Unicorn Caravan moves throughout the city of Al-Zawira, the Round City, the oldest and most prestigious city within the Kamarist Empire, it makes its way up through the Market of Books, past the Kamarist Temple, past the Pilgrim's Court, through the Middle City, and onto the Bridge of Boats. It creaks and sways and bobs as each of the wagons moves from pontoon boat to pontoon boat, swaying, shifting weight. It's both relaxing and soothing, but sometimes a little disconcerting. Hayate seems to be gripping the side of the caravan, and his Yari with white knuckles, as he is unused to these feelings, anything to do with being off of solid ground. But no, you pass through the gates and onto the bridge that takes you across the King's River and out into the cradle of the world between the two rivers, the Queen's River and the King's River. And you make your way, finally, on your way home to Rokugan, away from the Kamarist Caliphate, from the Burning Sands, and you head out upon the Sand Road. It takes some time, but finally the swaying ends, and you are now on solid ground, making your way between the two rivers. Hayate starts to relax just a bit. Your champions and, well, your saviors at this point, the Unicorn, finally come through and give a tapping on the side of caravans here and there, or on your back, to let you know that you can take down the heavy hoods of your garb that has kind of secluded you and blocked you from view of looking Rokugani as you made your way out of the city. Or in Hayate's case, finally to get up out of the back of the caravan covered in bolts of silk and other trade goods. And you watch as the city starts to slowly fade in view behind you. You can still make out the Caliph's palace and even some of the outlines that you had come to view as your gilded marbled cage of the Emir's estate, where they kept you in good condition, where Jamila and Rafi looked after you and helped teach you some of the ways of the caliphate, of the Kamara's tongue. But now you're on your way home after months of being cast adrift and lost from a spell that went out of control of pursuing friends and trying to rescue one who has, well, still left you confused and unsure, wondering what happened to Ryuji and Bisho, Yui. But you've now, after this time, made a new friend from one of the guards protecting the Shugenja who sought to bind and sorcel Bisho. Hayate has become, well, a fast friend and true companion, a brother in arms, and one of your fellows. And everyone can't help but look towards the east now, after turning back away from the city that you've left. And there is a wistful feeling of nostalgia and a desire to be home, and what awaits you at the end of your journey now that you are finally on this last step home.
Gen trots up beside the wagon from which Hayate is emerging and says, "I can't believe we got out past the gates with that little trouble." She's got a big smile on her face.
It probably helped that there was other issues about in the city. I think the Unicorn, while they have evacuated many with us, I think they have other agents still left behind within the city.
I'm just grateful to be on our way.
I can't wait to be home. I kept thinking I was going to get tossed out, or that the whole caravan would rock right over on one of the boats, and I'd be stuck just underwater, trapped in all this silk and unable to get back to the surface. I cannot wait to be back home in my forests and to feel the cool, wet air, the mist, the moss under my feet.
Oh, we'd fish you out.
One hopes. But even still, one's fears cannot be totally overcome. Even with logic like that, knowing that your friends are there.
Ricci comes up alongside as well and says, "Yeah, I also miss the forest. Strangely enough, I've had enough of this heat, this dry heat. I'm ready for home again."
So what will you eat first?
Oh, first, I think, yeah. What would I eat first? I think I want something just simple but comforting. I think I just want a big bowl of rice with soy sauce poured over it and a fresh soft cooked egg.
Tuna.
Tuna.
It has been far too long since I've had good, fresh fish, especially from the sea. So I think that will be my first meal that I will seek out. More than likely, I'll just have rice the first time, but the first actual meal will be tuna.
Hayate kind of laughs and smiles over at you teasingly and says, "What does a lion know about quality fish from the sea?"
Spoils of war, my friend.
Spoiled, perhaps.
Is that why they've invaded the Crane so many times over the years? Is just to get to a good cut of fish?
Wars have been started for less.
You could ask for a nice invitation. We're very gracious hosts.
Yeah, but then we'd be indebted, and that's just as bad as being indebted to a scorpion.
Ha!
I don't know.
I take offense.
And this is just one of those big belly laughs that Ricci hasn't released in quite a long time.
Well, how about you, Gin? What do you think you might go after first?
I think that I would very much like a fine shrimp meal from our coastal fisheries. You just can't get it right further inland. It spoils too quickly. But there's an awful lot of desert between us and them. Has anyone seen a bow? I was thinking that I might need one if I'm riding a horse.
You might you might ask around the what was it? The otaku, the what is her name? There's it's odd. Anjing? Anjing? Anyways, you might go talk with her. If I remember right, she was the one that was distributing arms to some of the others and hiding different implements here and there amongst the caravan in case we were discovered.
Yes.
I'm sure the Ide would be more than happy to sell you one.
I don't have much left to trade, but I'll seek him out since he was made our erstwhile caretaker, and then perhaps go on to bother the caravan master. Thank you. And I trot on ahead.
And Hayate is like, I'm just glad after all this time I've been able to keep hold of my Yari. My armor has been blasted by sand and cut the silk threads and been lost to the desert. I've been cut, slashed, beat, bruised, but at least I've still maintained my weapon here.
You've done well with that as well. But, we're Bushi. We live and die by our weapons.
Yeah, the fact that we've been able to keep our daisho and our and then my Yari and a few other implements here and there, that's a testament to where we put our priorities, or at least where our sensei made sure that we had them.
Definitely. Oh, I think I might ride around a bit and see who's who around the caravan. Just find out what's going on. Do you need anything while you're in the wagon?
No, I have a few things here. I have a few of our packs. I have water. I have some food. I'm just going to sit and watch the city fade into the desert.
That has got to be a sight.
All right, take care, Ichi.
You too, Yate.
All right. Well, for Gen, she will ride forward and she will seek out Ide Minato first.
Yeah, Minato will be probably on his horse, sort of on the perimeter of the group, sort of going between the various wagons, checking in. Honestly, trying to make himself look a little more important and involved than he really is. So when he sees one of the guests riding up to him, he will happily lean into that.
Again trots up and says, "We have made our escape, but I do want to offer what help I can if anything should happen. It's not like, well, all right, my training is more of the courts than the battlefield, but I did practice my Yabusame once upon a time. I was wondering if I could procure a bow just in case uh, such becomes needful. That seems to be what most of the bushi guarding the caravan are doing.
I think you undersell your intelligence by saying that you are more of the courts than of someone in the saddle. Often when people in their first caravan, when we turn around and head home, they get it in their mind that the journey's over, that just over that next hill, they'll be back in their village. And they fail to realize that this is merely the midpoint of our journey. We're not free yet, even though we're beside the city gates.
Well,
You seem to see the truth.
thank you for the compliment. I remember how long it took to get to the city from where we were in the desert, but I do not think that I will be ready to uh, be uh, to relax myself completely until I'm within the territories of the Crane clan. But until then, is there a bow and arrow around that I can borrow until we reach the borders of the Empire?
Absolutely. We had to leave a few behind to help make our misdirection more believable. If everyone left, that would just tip off the guards. And besides, I'm sure they will find other ways to assist the Empire from within the enemy's ranks when this war begins.
Very wise.
I'm sure some of their supplies can be found. Please come with me.
Right?
So yeah, Minato will take you around, and I guess the choice is: would you like a more Rokugani bow or a more how shall we say bow like found in the Burning Sands, like a kind of a Shinjo horse bow kind of style, or would you like to go with a full Daikyu like you would have been more trained with?
I would like to go with the one that is closest to my training. I have not received very much training at all. It is
Absolutely.
customary for people who go to the elite schools of the Crane to train in case they should enter and make it to the Topaz Championship. I did not succeed in making it to the Topaz Championship. So this is just relying on the little that I was trained with. Beyond that, she's only used her bow afoot. So uh, she's just finding the closest that she thinks she could potentially wrangle. Now, in general, hers have to be a little bit smaller because she's a little short.
Yeah, she might be a little short, but in fact, you probably got teased about it quite a bit when you were doing your Yabusame training with in your dojo days, as the Daikyu, while sometimes the same height as some of the archers, or even a little taller than the occasional ones, it seemed to dwarf you by a full head or more. You looked downright diminutive beside it. But yes, they have one or two Rokugani horse bows still tucked away in places, and Otaku Engine is able to work with Minato to get one pulled out of storage, unwrapped, strung up, and passed over to you.
Thank you very much. I will be certain to return this when we get to Rokugan, or put it to good use if that becomes difficult.
No, just make sure to get it back to us in one piece when we get back. It's fine. Having another trained archer moving about the caravan is never going to be a bad thing. And feel free, if you happen to see an animal or whatnot, to try to pick it off. It'll keep your senses honed and provide us a little extra something fresh to eat on the trail here.
I will be sure to put in some practice in any event when we stop.
As they sort of peel off, Minato will sort of look over again and he's like, I wish to just clarify an issue of which my friend spoke for. As a doji, I understand that the idea of maybe eating game meat would be contrary to the way that you are raised. Rest assured, we will not make you eat anything that you would be uncomfortable with, but it would allow us to provide to someone with less discriminating taste among our group to free up suitable rations for yourself.
I appreciate that, and I'm grateful. Although the doji would not normally eat animals with hoofs, there have been a startling number of varieties of rabbit that we have had to consume during our time in the burning sands here. Of course, it is all rabbit, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Of course. Thank you. Indeed, it is remarkable the kinds of rabbits that they have in the burning sands.
Yes, a wide variety of rabbits are available out here, he says, looking at the barren sand.
A polite, a polite looking aside, as one must do.
But please, if there's anything else I can get for you or for your Kodo friend, please do not hesitate to come to me.
Thank you very much. And if there is any other ways that we may be of service to the caravan, please let us know. We are trying to figure out a proper place in this organization, but as a Kyuden or might serve a lord, or a shopfront might serve a merchant house, it seems that a caravan is the castle of its caravan masters, and we are but supplicants.
I would say honored guests.
Thank you.
And for guests to offer to share their strength and valor with us, I don't think there's much more that we could want.
Well, you have that then. Now, I will not consume more of your time, unless you wish to regale me with the tale of how you diverted the Caliph from noticing a caravan leaving his city, because I would be very entertained in learning of how you managed to pull that one off.
He sort of stops to sort of look like he's considering his words carefully. Unlike you and your kin who are trained in the proper use of language and all of the best ways to express it, we in the unicorn are much more, I would say, coarse and blunt. So, due to the inefficiencies in the way that we were schooled, I would not wish to give you the improper impression about what we did. I would hate to think that we were might be accused of misdirection or underhanded ruses and gambits. If that is the impression that you get, understand that is purely due to my deficiencies as a speaker and not a reflection on the character of this caravan.
I would never accuse my host of being anything but expressing the highest honor.
I appreciate that. To lower the anxiety and the concerns that our host might have about our rapid departure from our city, we decided to move and change our accommodations to a place where they would better be able to observe and watch us.
Ah.
And so with these securities in place, they felt a lot more at ease with giving us free reign throughout the city. And while we were moving from one hotel to another, we took the opportunity to explore the city a little bit and outside the city. and to the field where we currently are.
I see. Trying to find a more suitable place for your goods to be stored seems to have lent itself to a far distant place where your goods might be best stored. That seems logical.
True. It is what we'd have to leave behind anyway, so it's no real
Of
loss.
course.
It is not the most clever plan, but sometimes I feel that when you try to be too complicated, you often get in your own way and bring about failure. Sometimes the more direct path is the right one.
Well, if it was sufficient, then it was enough. Though that just seems to be a redundant term. Yes, whatever it required, I will be glad when I am no longer looking over my shoulder.
Unfortunately, we have many leagues to go before that can be stopped. But I assure you, we all feel more comfortable with you with us. And he sort of nods at your bow.
I hope it will serve. I hope it will not be necessary to serve you well, but if it is necessary, I hope it finds skills perhaps long forgotten. But I should go on ahead and see if I find one of those desert rabbits to shoot at. And the bow in her saddle, she trots on her way.
So Ricci rides around the caravan, just riding up and down, just very casually on the back of the horse. For him, it just feels right to be back in the saddle again. Strangely enough, as his upbringing didn't really lend him much for riding, but just chance encounters across his life has led to a bit of horse riding, and this is a fine horse. So Ricci is just happy to be outside of the city and more open in the open air. And after a few times passing up and down, he finally approaches Utaku Anjing, and just very casually just rides alongside, but a little bit behind to show deference as part of the caravan, and says, Utaku, might I have a moment of your time?
What is it that you need?
I just have a quick question about your family. Are you related to Utaku Hana?
You can see there is a twitch to Anjin's lips, even as you ride kind of behind her, and almost like she wants to whip her head around to glare at you, but she does her best to set her jaw and continue to look straight ahead as she rides forward. And you see that she has also changed up a bit of her look. She is now kind of more fitted out in Rokugani arms and equipment, looking more like the Shiatomi battle maiden that she was trained as. And she's taking all of that strength and determination that her order is known for to continue to stay silent for a moment before she finally decides to get the words out as calm as she can. Why do you wish to speak about my family, Lion?
Well, I just wanted to say that I was when I was a apprentice medic, one of the battles I was a part of, more on a support role than as a combatant, was led by an Utaku Hana who defeated the lion soundly, just with expert tactics, hit and run. It was a masterful stroke. And when I was learning tactics, it was Utaka-sama's teachings and her strategies that we were taught against. And I just wanted to know if you and her were related.
Yes, Utaku Hana is my mother. What? How did you know we were related?
As I said, it was a bit of training, and my uncle, he has a thing for lineages, as most Ikoma do, and so I was taught the barest of lineages of most of the lion's enemies, if you will, and I just happened to remember your name as part of it.
You know what? Let's go ahead and do a check actually here at this point. And why don't you go ahead and do what is that one, like Legacy on Earth or
Oh, I don't think I have that.
Oh, do you I was wondering, do you have the one that lets you know people's family secrets and lineages?
No, I don't.
Well, you got experience. It's a good one to have.
You know what? Sure. I'll pick that one up.
Yeah, let me go ahead and open Quartz of Stone. Because you pretty much just perfectly described that technique, and so it just seems fitting for you to probably grab that one.
I believe it's Ancestry Unearthed.
Yes, Ancestry Unearthed. That's the one.
I think it might be on the main book on page 216.
Hey, there we go, Eric.
Okay, yeah. And that one I can make a Scholar Earth or Social Earth, and I can spend opportunities on that. And it's a rank 1 Earth Shuji.
Yep. It's a good one, and like the amount of knowledge it can give you out of nowhere is pretty incredible.
Yeah, I will definitely take that because I've got 10 experience to spend, so I now have 7 experience to spend.
There you go. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna have you. What is history and battle? Is that culture or yeah? I'm trying to remember here. Let me take a look.
I could take culture on that one. But because it is social, I'm kind of talking more social of this. Do we want to use command? Because I'm talking about the tactics specifically about this person.
Possibly. Give me one moment. Let me just look things up here. Possible culture: Bushido, etiquette, heraldry, region, government, bureaucracy, law, logistics, warfare. All right. What is the difference between your culture and your command?
My culture is a 1. My command is a 3.
How about we give you 2 skill dice to use with this? Okay.
I can also use government to go with that because that's 2.
Yeah, let's do that because that covers warfare.
Yeah, that works for me. So that's 2 in my government and my earth of 3.
Sounds good. All right. And again, you're not necessarily looking for success, although I'm not going to give you any real minuses for shortfall here, I don't think. So but I am going to have to give you a TN regardless. So let's go ahead and give this a TN of 1, and you can use your Okoto's leadership advantage if you'd like.
Oh, perfect. I will do so then.
Knowing your enemies and all that stuff and their families is kind of a very lion thing. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and give you a TN1 government for warfare check here to remember Anjin's mother and to possibly make use of Ancestry Unearthed. So again, TN1, that'll be a Earth government check.
Okay. So with that, I got 1 success, 3 opportunities, and 2 strife. And so what I'd like to use the opportunities on is the newly acquired Ancestry Unearthed. For 3 opportunities, I will know something that the character does not even know about their own ancestry.
Oh, all right. That's a hell of a thing. So what do you know about Anjin's family that even she doesn't know?
What I know about her family is that her mother is a well-renowned commander amongst the lion, but not so much against the unicorn. Again, it's a little strange that you've got this fantastic commander, like feared amongst the lion, and her daughter is in caravan duty out in the burning sands. Seems a little strange.
All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and work with that. So, yes, you, like I said, you know of her mother. You've heard of her. That there's this great commander that the Lion teach classes on how to deal with and accept kind of the charge of a Shiotome, and that it is Utaku Hana and the tactics that she used. Probably 10 or 15 years ago, that the Lion now makes sure to teach and to drill into the heads of their students, and that even you remember the name way out here in the middle of nowhere. That between that and your heraldry and lineage classes, you put 2 and 2 together, and that this must be the same Utaku Anjin that was possibly related to the great and famed General Utaku Hana.
And so with that, I just start going more into conversation about the tactics and such, and go in and say, yeah, but yes, your mother is a topic of discussion within the Akodo War College. I never formally learned there, but I know that there is a specific class on Utaku Hana-sama's just tactics, specifically at the Battle of the Falling Main. It was her that delivered a decisive blow against the army, while the infantry were engaging one another. Utaku-sama led her forces in a direct approach to the command line of the Akodo, and that's where Akodo Koji was set up. It was his last battle. The Falling Main is referring to him as Utaku Hana just led a full-on pincer attack against the command line and brought him down. It didn't kill him, but he was wounded enough that he had to retire to the monastery afterward. It's just again a masterful stroke. Found a weakness and pushed it through. It's like I said, Utaku Hana is still a point of conversation to this day, and I'm surprised to see you out here.
All right, so I'm going to give Hana some narrative strife. I think I'm going to make it 4, and she turns to stare at you and is like, "What are you talking about, Lion? There was no Battle of the Fallen Main, no Koji my mother defeated in open combat. I would have known about this. I would have heard of this."
I'm surprised you haven't. It is a major battle for the Lion to have lost. And the fact that I'm speaking of it so openly should tell you how much we do revere it.
She wheels her horse around and kind of like starts to come back towards you, kind of staring at you with an accusatory poking gesture of her finger at you. "Do not think that you know more about my mother and my family than I do, her own daughter. Utaku Hana is a Shiotome, and she serves on in battle when called to, but she is no great hero or battlefield commander. She knows how to lead her troops, how to direct a proper charge, but I don't know where you've got this silly folly all up in your head, Lion. But I will not stand for you to sit here and praise heap misplaced upon my family. Do not think you know us.
I am only speaking scholastically at this point. I have never actually seen her directly, but this is no false praise. This is something that has happened within the Lion.
How much weight do you want to put into your words here towards her? Are you willing to stake your honor on this?
Ooh, yeah, I would stake some honor on it.
All right. So let's see. How about this? Let's stake 5 honor on you making some sort of social skill check to impress upon her the truthfulness or the sincerity of your words.
Okay.
If you fail, you will lose 5 honor, but if you succeed, you will have convinced her and kind of opened her eyes to the possibilities that her mother might be downplaying her achievements, or maybe somebody else is at work here keeping her from advancing in rank within the Unicorn Clan, kind of holding her career back, or something else. Who knows what the possibilities are? But I think that staking some honor here on the check could do that.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm looking at using courtesy because I want to impress that her family is a great family, so I don't want to like overshadow her or sugarcoat it. I just want to bring the right level of respect to it. And I'm going to be trying to reason with her, so that's Earth.
Yeah. I think that if you make some sort of reasoned approach, it's like, well, why would I, be making up this kind of these classes and whatnot, or some such. And then, do you have any of the Paragon advantages by chance?
I have Paragon of Compassion, which doesn't quite work here.
I don't think so. I think that the Unicorn love compassion, and that would be an excellent way to go with many Unicorn. I don't necessarily think it is the way to go in this particular situation. If you had courage or even courtesy or something like that, or sincerity.
At one point, I had honor, but
that's fair.
Unfortunately, the city really brought that down out of me.
You'll be earning some honor, I think, for this, regardless. So long as you make the check. Okay. But I need to come up with the difficulty of your check here. So give me one moment.
Certainly.
This will be a hidden TN, so it will get you a void point. Sorry, possibility for a hidden TN. Would you like to know the TN, or would you like to do it hidden?
I'll take the hidden, and I'll take the void point.
There you go. All right, so you are doing this against the target's vigilance. And I have that, and...
Okay. So I'll be rolling my 3 Earth and 2 Courtesy.
Got it. All right, so to impress upon her the truthfulness of your words, you're going to go ahead and stake 5 honor on a courtesy test here. It's going to be a hidden TN. So I have the TN in mind right now. But it'll be hidden, so you'll gain a void point. And you're going to be doing this. What do you think?
Well, I got 3 successes, 1 opportunity, and 3 strife.
And what ring did you use?
Earth.
Earth, got it. So Earth courtesy, got it.
Earth courtesy. So with that opportunity, I was originally thinking of using Ancestry Unearthed on her again, because it is a social check. But I decided I've pried into her past a little too much, and now she's taking a little bit more offense on it. So I'm going to try to like calm her down a little bit. Just say no, this is. I'm not actually trying to start anything. Try to be a little bit more reasonable about it. So I'm going to reduce her strife by 2.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you're cool, you're reasoned, you're reassuring of both her and of the sincerity of what you speak, of the way that she is regarded within the Lion Clan, and so you get to keep your 5 honor, and so that is always a good thing.
Ooh.
And to go along with that, I am going to give you 1 second. I need to get to that section. Further down than I thought. I'm going to award you 6 sincerity honor.
Yay! Cool. Puts me up to 77.
There you go. Excellent.
And with that, I just I talk it through with her and go through the motions of being like, no, these are the teachings, and start bringing out a couple of examples of other things that I've learned about Hana, and just saying, this is an actual thing. Your mother is a fantastic commander, and again, I'm honestly surprised that someone of her honor and glory would have her daughter out in the burning sands.
Anjin stops her horse just a few feet from you, and is kind of stunned. In fact, both your horses are now stopped as the caravan starts to trundle on past you, and others are kind of looking at the two of you, a little confused and concerned. And she says, I know you don't possibly mean what your words say there, that it's my mother's fault that I am somehow stuck out here in the burning sands. This is, amongst our people, a fine command to look after those who travel the sand road and make the journey between Rokugan and the greater, wider world. A world wider than you ever imagined before you made it out here. Do not think that this assignment is somehow a punishment or a less prestigious than serving in the Shiatomi within the Empire. At least amongst my people. That said, I have to admit, it sounds like you do know my mother, at least by reputation and by her deeds, even if I don't.
When we return to Rokugan, if at any time you need someone to stand testimony, let me know. By helping us get out of the city, I am indebted to you, and I would be more than happy to repay that in any way that I can.
Well, then let's start with you telling me more about this Battle of the Fallen Main. And she kind of puts her heels into her horse and rides past you and turns and comes up along your other side, and the two of you start to ride back into place within the caravan as she pokes and prods you to tell you more and more about this battle and what her mother did, and kind of how you've learned about it. She just wants to now just kind of take it all in.
And we'll talk until she is satisfied or until the caravan stops, whichever comes first.
Wind up talking with her throughout most of the night when you guys stop and set up a camp for fire and to hang out for the evening. Yeah, no, more than likely. she'll be wanting to speak with you more and more, and kind of have you over with her and some of the other the unicorn to, have you tell them about what her mother did and whatnot. Now that she is understands that you weren't just trying to get a rise out of her, or that you were just confused or whatnot, but that she's happy to know that her mother is kind of this well regarded and feared amongst their enemies, and not just what she thought, just another run of the mill soldier, even if she isn't a special unit. I'm Robert, or Bayoshi Shinichi, your host and narrator, thanking you once again for listening. Remember to catch new episodes every Monday. If you want to catch them early or are looking for more bonus content, please consider becoming a supporting member of the Patreon at patreon.com/courtgames.
I am Tyler, and I've been playing Akodo Richi. You can find me on my personal accounts on Twitter, @ChurcherGames, or on Twitch, also as ChurcherGames. You can find the show on the web at courtgamespod.com, on social media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram under Fortune and Strife, and on Twitter @L5RFNS. If you would like to contact us, you can email the show at fortuneandstrife@gmail.com.
This is Jeannie, aka Kakita Kaori, and also known as, at least today, Doji Gen. You can find me at my blog at the Winter Garden of the Kakita website, along with helpful materials for the RPG, and also on Twitter @WhiteVeils or on Facebook. If you like, I am also found on the Court Games RPG podcast as a writer for Emerald Legacy, or check out The Table Is Yours for fiction readings of the FFG stories.
Hi there, I'm Eric Schock, and I will be guesting as Ide Minato.
This has been Fortune and Strife, a Court Games production in association with D20 Radio Network and the Rokugana Historical Society.
Correctly with the correct amount.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll.
www.d20radio.com.